Good afternoon, all of you, and a warm welcome to this talk. I think I must thank my co-speakers here for a valuable insight that was given, and I would need to modify my speech a bit for sure, not to be repetitive. But I think it has been wonderful the way they have explained both the pros and cons, how it benefits, and what the danger lies there. So let me tell you by this, I am not an expert in AI, and I don't come here from that point of view. I am here as an average intelligent human being exposed to AI in the daily life. And that is probably what is happening, same with you and me, right? So let me start by asking you this. How many of you would want to know whether AI is consuming you or you are consuming AI? By show of hands. And is there a fear in your mind that what is going to be the outcome of humanity, like the topic we have today, the future of humanity in an increasingly artificial world, right? Would you want to impact that humanity and be, yeah, by show of hands? Wonderful, wonderful. Great, so I am Debolena Mishra here for you. I think my introduction has been given well before. So I think here you will see and ask why a banker of 25 years is also in the field and exploring in the field of happiness and mindfulness, right? For that, maybe I'll have to give you a brief story. I think professionally, the 25 years that I've spent and more so, has been a wonderful journey. It's been an exciting journey. From a time I remember in the year 2000, in part of banking, we used to call it Y2K. We were awake that night because we didn't know how the accounting in the banking will happen when the clock moves from 1999 to 2000. Yeah? And from that time, when in the banking background, we used to have everything in the branch. I mean, everything was centralized. Today, we are opening up to customers completely in a digital way. Right to the extent when pandemic happened, it didn't really impact us, though we were so worried how it would happen. Right? Let me tell you a bit about myself in terms of how I relate to how this technology and AI has impacted me or not impacted me. So I have been a very spontaneous and a happy child. Nothing in my life has happened as planned. I think my education, my family, my occupation, all chose me. And during my life, as I felt, I think the strongest point of me would be in the weakest of the situation and the adversities. So I knew I was fine in my skin and space. Till the greatest adversity happened in my life when in the year 2012, my husband and soulmate for 24 years was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a cancer of bone marrow. We were given, I still remember, the doctor in that table in the discussion post-op test that, well, you have 5 to 8 years. That's all that we had. And in spite of the fact, with what was being told to us, we didn't want to believe it. We were both fighters. We thought we would live it through. Not a single day did we talk about a day when we will not be together. But in exactly 5 years, he passed away in my arms on the way to the hospital. I cannot tell you that feeling of incompleteness in me and the helpless in me that I could not do anything. And that took me into a spiral of depression and mental health, even to the extent, till 5 years from then, I didn't have a purpose of life. And you know how I found it? It was miraculously when the strong woman whom I thought was so confident could be in that pit at the bottom, somehow through social media, some video, some quote, some message was popping up, would have been there before, but I had not seen it. But now, somehow it started connecting with me. The more I searched, the more I was there, the more it was coming to me. But I was finding a relevance there as the universe was trying to give me a message. Okay? Though now I know it was all design. Okay? But it helped me. It helped me to connect with my mentors, with the people who in that community helped me come out of it. And that is how, in the last couple of years, I'm in the field where I try to help in terms of what I can do in places where we are unhappy, lonely, and stuck in life. And that is on a mission that I am to inspire life and impart change. And change is the biggest element here. How do I accept the change that is coming in line today, in our reality today? Now let me ask you this, okay? All of you have your mobile phone on you? Yeah? I'm sure. Right? Most of the time when I see you around, you're like this. Yeah? Can I ask you that if you had an option to contact your loved ones and they can contact you, would you be able to keep your phone aside for 24 hours? Is it your lifeline? Is it your best friend today? Yeah? I am very happy for the ones who are being very truthful. It's okay. It is for most of us. Most of us. Let me tell you of a time when, few of maybe, none of you will relate to this, but let me tell you this. Okay, so in our times, well, I would be in my teenage, we used to have this landline phone. Dial wala, picture mein dekhe honge. Yeah, dial karo, uthao. I spent a lot of time talking to my boyfriends and my to-be husband later from that phone. But I remember my mother used to tell me if I was to go out, do come home before it's dark. Dark par jati thi. Andhera hone ke pehle ghar aa jana. Kyun? Why? Because she would be worried and she would be no way able to reach out to me if I'm not home. Today, on a click of a button, my location is available to anyone in the world who wants to know. Where am I? What am I doing? And all the information that you've been using on the phone over as many years are all there stored. You will not remember, but the data is there somewhere. Yeah? So the reality is, in terms of how am I using that tool and information available to me? Why am I using it? And how am I using it? So going forward, let me give you this data. This isn't globally, we know that people average is having a screen time of 6 hours, 58 minutes. All of you can check your screen time on the phone. I would urge time and again to check that. Okay? It is good that you're using it. It depends on what you're using it. It could be that, through that, you may have been able to reach to your like-minded people where in your search of friendship, you have friends around who you don't relate to, you could reach out, that's fine. You may be able to do a learning out of that, a skill that you're developing, a music that you're listening and enjoying it, right? But are you doing it consciously or unconsciously? Is it not that we take our phone and search for it, close eyes in the morning, right? First thing we're searching our phone, right or wrong, I can see those smiles, you can relate, right? We cannot, it's become part of our body. It's become part of our body. In fact, we treat our phone much better than we treat ourselves. Bhai, chot na lag jaye. Hey, honey, raat ko, before we go to sleep, we put it to sleep first. Put it on the charge. Right? Because morning to chahiye mujhe usko, bina uska chalega nahi. Right? The limited point here is, I am worried. And there are many who are worried. Because, please understand, is it that you are reaching out there? Or is it a design, well-planned sucking you in. Have you realized the notification, the nudge that comes to you while you are looking away pulls you back to that screen? Do you realize that? I often get this thing, new reels, photos from my past. It's taking me to the past, taking me to the future, man. I know I have those photographs. You're taking it out from my own phone, my own library, and showing it to me with just some AI, right? So here, if you clock 6 hours, 58 days, my banker and me, okay, it is close to 8 hours, one productive workday, right? Okay? I'll not give you a value of money to it, but you can think. Okay? Let's slide another data. This is a data around COVID, the shift it happened in hours spent playing video games per week. And look at the shift in terms which is more between the age of 26 to 45. Who is that 26 to 45? Our largest contributor to the GDP. I am worried. Yeah? Why? My question to you is, and this is in my mind and I don't have an answer to it, okay? Is it that by our human nature, we are averse to change because of the unknowing, the uncertainty? Generally we don't. We are not prepared for it. We don't like something that we don't know, right? Is it that nature in us bringing us more to this unreal world, the real versus the real? Because it has got a predictive outcome. In a game, you have at least 3 lives. I'm dead in 1, I've got 2 more to go. I can strategize now. In life, I have 1. Is it something that within us, we are also, as much as we're designed, we're being pulled in, maybe we're not realizing, we are the guinea pigs here, being experimented to see your responsiveness to the advertisements of the companies who are actually the real clients. I would really urge you to see this movie called, have you seen Social Dilemma? Any one of you? If not, do watch it. Watch it again. Watch it again. Thought-provoking. Yeah? So this is an interesting experiment I saw recently. Okay, see what technology can do. Critically, ill patients were given VR and a motor by which they could experience themselves to be riding a bike, going underwater with the dolphins, or riding a gondola in the canals of Venice. Imagine the experience they would have had. They're actually feeling that they're doing it. But my point is, they are feeling because they are human. It is because of their emotions they are being able to benefit from what is being provided. Yeah? Interesting, right? So there was so much, and that is happening around, in which we do. In my work field, the amount that we use in technology to build in, for the customer experience, for decongestion, literally humongous. I know and I've seen how things have changed. So what makes us human? I think the biggest part is emotional intelligence. EQ. The balance that we anyhow as human need to as an IQ and EQ. We're not just talking about intelligence per se, but the ability to be able to look in someone's eyes, give a smile, a warm shake hand, a warm hug, that a human can do. I could have here if technology and it could happen, hologram here, and it could have done a better performance than me. But that connect would have not happened, right? So that is what it takes, and the balance that is required in terms of how I keep that in terms of how I use this technology that is with us. So of course, there's a lot of risk that is coming to us. I'll take one example here. So my daughter, she's a 3D artist. So I asked this question that it looks like, 5 years from now, it could be, and it's already happening, that AI could automatically make a complete movie. Okay? Could run a musical. What will happen even to the creative field? So the answer was, she said, Mom, if I give an example, a command to an AI to say that generate a design of a green swamp monster, okay? It will definitely be green and it will definitely look a bit like Shrek. You know why? Because it would go through thousands of references that human has created from the data and create its own image. So there is, of course, the risk of the ethical dilemma. There's a discrimination. We don't know where it is heading us, in spite of all that we are benefiting from now. Of course, any technology that has happened in the history has been for mankind, by mankind, right? It is for us how we use it. So in this case, I think we need to be more aware and conscious how we are using it. Ask this question as who am I? What am I doing? How am I benefiting out of this? Right? Look and explore in terms of what other skills, avenues, expand your horizon, expand your mind. You will find much possibles that is there and possibilities around. And the choice is yours. It is definitely yours and yours only. I can only tell you as I end this talk that, when COVID happened, nobody predicted that coming. Nobody knew how to work around it, get out of it. It was just the spirit of humanity, the grit, the resilience, and the strength that brought us through, right? It was you. Thank you very much.